He suddenly noticed that the speeding minecart had been stopped by a wooden stick. He had planned to hide inside the cart to escape, but now panic set in. Slowly, he poked his head out and saw a Soviet guard standing right in front of him, rifle in hand. In the end, he was thrown into the dungeon for attempting to escape. The Soviet commander warned him, "Under my watch, no one has ever successfully escaped. And in all these past years, you're the only prisoner who has even tried. I won't kill you, but I hope you'll stop having these unrealistic ideas." With that, Mike was pulled out of the dungeon. As soon as he returned to the barracks, he saw that all the other prisoners were there, holding various tools, their faces grim as they waited for him. Because he had tried to escape alone, the entire barracks of fellow prisoners had been punished, 3 days with no food. Furious, they took out all their anger on Mike. Just having barely survived the dungeon, physically weak, he was beaten so badly by his comrades that his body was covered in welts and bruises. Fortunately, it was all superficial injuries, and Mike's life wasn't in danger. But in a strange twist of fate, the beating ended up benefiting him. He unexpectedly met the camp doctor. After being brutally beaten, the strong-willed Mike finally shed tears of sorrow. Crying, he asked the doctor, "I just want to go home. Is that wrong?" Hearing this, the doctor, a fellow prisoner, fell silent, unsure how to respond. The doctor was also a prisoner. Because he had once been a military doctor, he had become an assistant to the Soviet female medic in the camp. Seizing a quiet moment when no one else was around, he secretly told Mike that prolonged exposure to the lead ore mined here would cause lead poisoning. In other words, no prisoner in this camp could survive long enough to serve their full sentence. He also encouraged Mike that if he wanted to escape, he needed to do it sooner rather than later. The longer he stayed, the less sense escaping would make, because lead poisoning would eventually take over. The doctor's words strengthened Mike's determination to break out. The kind-hearted doctor also agreed to help him. He pulled out a hand-drawn map and nervously explained the escape route to Mike. But just then, a sound came from outside the door. Startled, Mike quickly hid. The doctor took a deep breath to calm himself and opened the door, only to find the Soviet commander standing there, drunk. Luckily, the commander was just wandering around and didn't notice anything unusual. After the commander left, the doctor immediately took off his sweater and handed it to Mike. He also gave him his leather boots and other clothing items, placing them in Mike's hands.